We can all think back to the tragic day on September 11, 2001, when the World Trade Center was attacked. It was a terrible act of terrorism, and this is one of the many reasons that we have the United States Armed Forces. We have the Armed Forces so that we can defend, protect, and prevent horrible acts such as the 9/11 attacks. And we've all heard the comment, freedom isn't free. Well, today I really want to show you guys that that statement is a true statement. It is not free. It takes a lot to become a soldier or to be in the armed forces or whatever you would like to specifically call it. And today we're going to be talking about the armed forces. And I myself am personally a veteran of the United States Air Force. I was not in for a very long time. I was in for a very brief time. But it was something in my life that was... I can look back and it was so much knowledge that I gained from it and personal experience and the commitment that I made. It was just, to defend and protect this country was something that I meant with my life. And the first thing we're talking about is joining the armed forces. In order to join, you have to take an exam called the ASVAB, and it's a test to qualify you. And according to military.com, it says the ASVAB is described as a timed multiple aptitude test, which is given at over 14,000 schools, and military entrance processing stations. It's called MEPS nationwide, and is developed and maintained by the Department of Defense. And when I think of the ASVAB, I personally took it. Like I said, I was in the Air Force, and I took it, and I thought of it as like an SAT type. It was something that, it showed my knowledge of a certain subject and certain things, so that the military could take that and put me where they needed me, where I'd mostly benefit them. And the next thing we're going to talk about is benefits, and there's many great benefits from joining the armed forces. And actually, if you refer to your handouts that you got whenever you walked in here today, the handout is from militarybenefits.com, and there's just a huge list of the many benefits that you get from joining the armed forces. And one that I really want to touch base on is the GI Bill. The GI Bill is something that if you join your active duty reserve, it's something that you can do and use it for your schooling, because the government, as well as I personally, believe that schooling and knowledge is important. And that the GI Bill is something that you pay into a little bit, and you can go to school free of charge. And I actually personally didn't pay for the GI Bill whenever I was in. And if you go to the website, you can actually look at it. It's the post 9/11 GI Bill, where I didn't pay into it. It was after 9/11 when I joined, and I was able to get a portion of my schooling paid for. I'd also like to say that it's not just schooling that's important or anything. Like, there's so many great benefits, and actually the biggest benefit is making that commitment to help others. That's the biggest benefit, and it's not a personal gain or anything. It's just a benefit of helping others and being that way. And the third thing I want to talk about is what it takes to become a soldier. And actually, a great friend of mine, Joe Banca, who I am on staff with at church, I asked him, what does it take to be a soldier? And he said it takes someone of great strength, courage, and selflessness. And when I thought of that, I thought that was just those just three great things. And how true is that it takes somebody so strong and courageous and selfless to become a soldier, to defend and protect this great nation. And I just really want to conclude with when I think of selflessness, I think of John 15:13, where it says, "There's no greater love than to lay down one's life for one's friends." And Christ displayed the greatest act of selflessness and of love for laying His life down. And that's exactly what a soldier does. A soldier lays down his life for his friends and his unknown. Thank you.